Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Slidin into My DMs, part of the D4 network. This is the show on the network where we talk about D&D rules, we talk about D&D news, and we talk about D&D tips, basically, so that everybody can have as much fun as possible at your table.
Three things. What's the other fourth D? This is the D4 network.
Well, yeah, but like those things don't start with D.
Didgeridoos.
There's four. It's because there's four playlists.
Four playlists.
There's D&D Optimized, Sliding into My DMs, Tales of an Area, and D&D University, which I haven't added to.
Can you do cards for playlists?
Because
we just did them.
Yeah, I could, but if so, I only have one card left, so I'm not linking to those. Because I go through my cards too quickly. My name's Colby, and I'm your host, and so thanks for watching. And with me, as always, are some of my DMs. So we have Tori, the Dungeon Mistress herself.
That's me.
That's me.
You really want the action shot. The
I do.
turn
I love
around.
it. This is the news.
Yeah, and like take your glasses off maybe and be like, give a little wink. Dallin, the Blackthorn, Mr. Rogers, and Preston, Viscount Vicky, the Bard. I'll come up with a better name
I'm heavily
one of these days.
sexual.
I don't know.
Oh boy.
I think all bards are.
Art sexual.
Right. Anyway, in case you haven't noticed, if you've been watching this particular playlist for a while, we're trying something new here. A little bit different format. I've been itching to try out a live version of what we do because I feel like, well, actually, this is going to segue nicely into the longer conversation later. But personally, I feel like we've got better energy and chemistry when we are live, as opposed or in person, as opposed to
Dead.
Yeah. Dead, yes, but as opposed to online.
Those are really awkward videos.
Yeah, and especially talking like during a Zoom call, the audio quality, like all that
It's
stuff.
hard to make eye contact with the camera.
Yes. So anyway, we're gonna try this out. Let us know what you think. Maybe wait until you've watched the whole episode if you feel like you have strong feelings at the moment, because maybe those strong feelings will change slightly by the time you get done. I don't know.
Yeah, because we're live and Farmington Studio X3, I think is what we named it.
Yeah. Telling
Right
you.
now, at this moment, as those words were coming out of your mouth.
I talked about it earlier. You
Okay.
just weren't present.
Sorry, had to make a slight camera adjustment there. You'll probably realize that we're, this is the first time.
Professionals.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first time, so, it's just going to be a little bit of trial by error.
I went to a semester of film school, so I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Actually.
Right. So, quickly, if you haven't seen the 20,000 subscriber celebration PvP team deathmatch that we did earlier this week, do check that out. We had a lot of fun. Some of us had more fun than others, but I'm not going to spoil that by telling you who had more fun. But maybe judging by the looks on our faces, you might be able to tell, so I apologize for the spoiler if you haven't watched that yet. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for helping us get to 20,000 subscribers. Hopefully, we will get to 30,000 soon.
Super exciting.
Soonish.
Nice.
But that's all for news for the channel. So I want to jump into the things that I usually have to talk about. First up, we have a quick ruling, and then there's like a little bit of a longer conversation about a particular D&D related topic. And in the middle, I think we might have a bit of a recess, a bit of a Jimmy Fallon-esque. We interrupt the normal broadcasting to play a little game that may or may not inflict pain.
It may. It will.
Expect nothing less from the Dungeon Mistress.
I'm fine.
Right?
Be
Not
prepared.
nervous.
Pain is the name of the game in the
Prepare
Dungeon
yourselves.
Mistress industry.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
It's your tagline.
It definitely is.
Trademark that.
All right. So,
Patent pending.
quick ruling. Here's the question for the week. It's a little complicated, as my quick ruling questions are wont to be. But here's what I want to know. Okay. This week, for my optimized build that I did earlier in the
Which
week,
we watched.
over there, which you guys always watch. I know I super appreciate your support. and getting those view counts up. I did an armor artificer, right? It was an infiltrator, and it was really cool, and I love it a lot.
Me too.
And that's all I wanted to say. So there was a question that came up for me while I was watching, and I was trying to find the answer by like browsing lots of different forums that are D&D related, you know what I mean, and getting a lot of sort of different opinions on this particular question. So I figured I'd pose it to you guys and see what you think. So here's my question. As an armorer, here's the preamble to the question. As an armorer, as an artificer, as everybody knows, you get infusions, right? And you get to infuse things and make them magical. Armorers, in particular, get to infuse more things than anybody else, so long as 2 of those extra infusions that they get are infusions that apply to their armor. They have to infuse their armor, right? Now, normally, we have a rule that a thing can only bear 1 infusion,
Right.
But the armorers are told that, well, okay, for your armor, once they hit level 9 anyway, for your armor, it actually breaks into multiple pieces so that each piece can potentially hold an infusion.
Right.
So you've got your breastplate, you've got your helm, you've got your boots, you've got your like magic weapon, your armor or weapon, right? Special weapon. So you get more infusions than any other artificer subclass, but 2 of your infusions have to be on your armor. Or in other words, like, 1 on your helm, 1 on your boots, or 1 on your breastplate, 1 on your special weapon, whatever, right? You with me?
Yes.
I'm with
Okay. So the question is this. Can I take one of my, what's it called? Can I use one of my replicate magic items to count for part of my armor that needs to hold an infusion? In other words, could I, for example, create the winged boots, right? That is one of the as an artificer, you can, as part of your infusions, replicate magic items, right? You can make boots, you can make weapons, you can make helmets, you can make cloaks, you can make all kinds of stuff. Could I create some magical boots, winged boots, and put those on my feet, and have that count as one of the infusions that needs to be part of your arcane armor? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in other words, that
other
the
words.
infuse or replicate magic item infusion, will that serve the prerequisite of having the armor or the infusion on the armor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes,
exactly.
I'm with you.
So let me just read some of the verbiage, right? So we are told as an
Please.
armorer that as an action, you can turn a suit of armor you are wearing into arcane armor. And then it gives us a bunch of things that this arcane armor can do now. And then it also tells us the armor attaches to you and can't be removed against your will. It also expands to cover your entire body. Although you can retract or deploy the helmet as a bonus action, blah, blah, blah. So I guess in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I put on this breastplate, and then because it's my arcane armor, it sort of grows and expands and like all the way covers my toes, covers my hat, covers my head, right? That altogether is my armor. And I'm supposed to be able to infuse my boots. And 2 of my infusions have to be on my armor, right? So can I, do I have to, if I'm gonna count as 2 of them have to be on your armor, do I have to use one of the infusions that says, this is a boot infusion?
The only one.
Yeah, there's only one of them.
Yeah.
There's only one of them, and it's kind of lame if you're a ranged character, in my opinion. And so it's like, is that my only option if I want it to count? Or can I replicate magic item, create some winged boots, put those on, and be like, yep, that counts as one of the 2 that are supposed to be on part of my armor? I appreciate that was a very long-winded and complicated question, but inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. I would say yes. I think rules as written, that's allowed. Because the replicate magic item is an infusion, and it doesn't specifically say that you have to use the armored infusions on your armor. So why not use the replicate magic item infusion on your armor?
Okay.
AKA boots or a helmet or whatever.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, if you want to do that, go for it. And mostly because there's only one option for boots.
Right.
So either Wizards of the Coast needs to give us more options,
Sure.
or let us do
Sure.
this that we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's the spirit of it, is just like getting to the. They want to make an artificer feel like an artificer, feel cool, feel like they have those options available, but obviously they have limited some of that to make it so it's not completely OP or broken.
Yeah.
At my table, like, no surprise to anybody, I would probably request that they would give me a reason for it first.
Sure.
But as looking at it, I guess from the other perspective of other more strict tables, if you will, I could see an argument going either way. So I'm right in the middle. I don't have a strong opinion on it.
I feel like. Have you seen Game of Thrones or read? So those like creepy wizard guys that live in the other continent.
Yeah.
Somebody help me out here. The weird wizards that like it's like book 2 that Khaleesi like meets and they try to
yeah.
and they're always like blue.
Yeah.
That because they're like eating some blue. Like, Preston, you got,
I got blue on me.
You got some blue lips.
Curses.
Sorry, you guys were like, where are you going?
Yeah,
with
it's
this?
I'm like left
I'm
field.
trying to follow. How does this have to do with
Those
artificers?
guys were all clearly artificers.
It's true.
Obviously.
And
That's the tie-in here. So this is actually the blood leaving my face as I'm thinking about the.
I just thought you got frostbite in the middle of summer.
Okay, Tori, give me your thoughts.
My thoughts are Dallin always outrolls me on intelligence checks, and so I go with what he says. No, I agree with him.
Okay.
That makes sense to me. My question, of course, is: do you put the boots on before the armor that covers them, or after? Because you're gonna have to size up or down.
Are they boots for your boots? So
these are the questions of like the mechanics of it, right? Like
Right.
how does it work actually? Not just the rules. How does it actually work at the game, at your table, right?
I'm gonna channel my inner Corey right now. I can feel him like
Reach
him
beyond
speaking
the
through,
grave.
and I know
He's
without a
always dead when
doubt
he's not here.
This is a seance.
he would say, were he here, sorry, that doesn't work. You're supposed to like the armor, the boots are part of your armor. It's really your breastplate just expanded, and you have to infuse those. You can't take a pair of boots sitting over there in the corner, grab them, infuse them, and put them on. I mean, you could do that. It doesn't count as one of the two that's supposed to apply to your armor.
And that's why I think that like on an Adventure League table, or others probably
Maybe.
gravitate.
Yeah. I wonder, have any of you played at an Adventure League table as an artificer armorer? Wasn't allowed.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Jinx.
Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Stop!
7, 8, 9, 10.
Uno más.
I wanted a free Coke. All right. Okay. Well, I'm just going to end it there. So yeah, let us know if you agree, disagree, why. If you've seen it at your table, especially.
I feel like people are going to come for me for this.
Come at me, bro.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Bring it.
The Dungeon Mistress is not
Nice.
Be
afraid.
gentle. We're all in this together.
All right. Okay. Well, so that's the quick ruling. We're going to get a word from our sponsors. I don't have any sponsors for this video. And now we're back.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
Let's play a game.
Let's play. a
Thanks,
game.
I
sponsors.
really want to play a game, but let's play a game.
I'm scared of the pain aspect of this game.
We're playing to the pain.
We are. That's what I wanted to do in our 20k PvP battle, but I guess we kind of played to the death. So this time we're getting some pain. And little known fact about me, I love trivia. Like, I love to watch Jeopardy. I love playing any type of trivia games. That's my jam, because it's fun. So
That
I,
and pain.
well,
They
they go very well together.
Preferably if you can get them both.
They pair nicely. Okay, so I found a little trivia quiz on epicstream.com called How Well Do You Know Dungeons and Dragons? It's 40 questions long.
Ooh, that's
That
a
is
quiz.
I just pulled out 14
Okay.
that I'm going to
We'll put a
quiz
link.
with.
We'll put a link to it in the video
Yeah.
description. So if you want to take the quiz, you can, and let us know how you did.
Yeah, I scored 68.9%.
Whatever, you liar.
Nice.
It was a 69, and you know.
Yeah. So, let me know if you did better than I did. You probably maybe will. I don't know. Some of them are really
All of
tough
our
questions.
credibility rides on this quiz. I'm so scared.
Oh
These
have a
are
whiteboard.
super fancy whiteboards.
Ooh.
Purchased from the dollar store.
Oh, we just have one?
No, we each have
Okay.
one.
They're sponsored.
Okay, so here's how the scoring works. Okay,
Alright.
of these questions, some of them are going to be softballs. You should get them, no problem.
If you guys are gonna cheat, I need to
Don't look at my paper.
Dungeon Master
My
screen.
whiteboard.
I'll write
Yeah.
small.
Here's the deal. If you can answer the question without hearing the multiple choice, and you get it right, you get 2 points.
Okay.
Okay. If I give you the multiple choice and you get it right with multiple choice, you only get 1 point.
Okay.
If I give you the multiple choice and you get it wrong, you get negative 1 point.
Oh.
What if you think you know and you guess before?
Then I will give you 1.5 points.
Well,
When are the answers
finish? So what if you think you know and you write the answer down, and then you get the multiple choice and realize, oh, like none of my answers were on the multiple choice. I must have been wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you won't be penalized for that. You can change your answer
It's just
at that
a-
point in time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you have
But
to
then
be
you
honest
just
and say
only-
I used the multiple choice.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Honor system.
Ready for this,
I'm ready.
gents? And I want you to, can you keep track of your own score?
Sure.
This is on the honor
Sure.
system. Okay. Question number 1.
Okay.
In which year was Dungeons and Dragons first published?
Looking back at my Arts and Arcana book, you know what's in there?
Anyone need the multiple choice?
I mean, I would
There's
like
nothing.
it.
I'm gonna write down what I
You'll just
think
get
it
one less
is,
point.
and hope
I just don't want to be wrong because I don't want pain.
I know.
Oh yeah, did I mention the loser gets a punishment? The winner gets a prize, and the person in the middle escapes both of
Yeah,
those.
don't have to suffer any pain. Okay, I've got my answer. I'm gonna write a star next to it.
Okay. I got my
Okay,
answer.
so you do want to hear the multiple choice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, is it A, 1974, B, 1983, C, 1969, or D, 1982?
Sticking with my original answer.
That's good. That means it was on there.
I'll get 2 points if.
You will get 2
if it-
points.
Okay, so
I'm
I'm
using
changing
multiple
it.
point.
I'm using multiple
choice.
points. I'm not putting a star.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, the answer. Gary Gygax and his friend Dave Arneson first released Dungeons & Dragons as a tabletop roleplay game in 1974.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
That was A?
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Oh,
was
alright.
A. Good job.
Okay.
So,
So I got 2 points.
2
2 points, 2 points, 1
I
point.
only got 1 point.
All right.
1
Okay.
point. All right.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Next question.
Feeling pretty bad.
Question number 2. Which god do orcs typically worship?
Oh,
I'm gonna need multiple
I'm
choice. on that
I'm
one.
writing mine down.
Okay, here's the multiple choice options here. A, Lilith. B, Tiamat. C, Grumsh. Or D, Kurtulmak.
Oh no. I think.
I'm gonna change my answer.
Kurtulmak?
Preston wrote Loki.
Yep.
Neither.
Since
none
it's-
of them
since
were
it's-
Loki.
Since it's not on there, it was Magoobliet because I think there was a goblins at some point.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, ready?
Hold on. Can I
Let's
get
reveal
it
our
one more time?
answers. Reveal your answers!
C.
And the answer is a god of destruction and pillaging, the mightiest of orc deities, and the creator of orcs is the one and only Grumsh, which was
Yeah,
C.
so 1.
So I got it
Alright, so
wrong.
we got 1.
You get negative 1 point.
So-
Oh,
I
you got
have
0.
Preston. 0.
Preston,
Dang it.
Preston,
Gosh.
zero.
Feel the pain.
I think it was. I think
You're
it-
gonna get your nose waxed.
All right. Next
Okay,
question.
next question. What was the first official campaign setting created for Dungeons and Dragons?
Campaign setting.
Maybe the name of. Okay.
Mhm. I feel like we need multiple choice.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go
I mean, I'm gonna write.
I've
I'm
never
gonna
played
write
it.
one down.
I'll write one down too, but I think it's
I
wrong.
think this might be right, but we'll see.
Okay.
It's not. Okay, is it A, the Forgotten Realms,
Okay.
B, Birthright, C, Ravenloft, or D, Greyhawk?
I'm keeping my original written down.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
It was close on my guess without it, so
I'm changing mine.
Oh, I probably should have said. So I won't count that because I needed the multiple choice to
Come on,
get me
please.
closer.
Get me out of the name.
At least I
Okay.
think
Please.
I'm either close or way wrong.
Okay. The answer is also the default setting for 3rd edition and more recently the 5th edition adventure book Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Oh.
The first official D&D campaign setting was Greyhawk.
Yes! Yes! Oops, I bumped the microphone. I'm so
I
sorry.
forgot.
I wrote Grey Wind, and I was like, this is
you
not
making
right.
fun now?
But mine was Raven, or I had Ravenloft in there.
So it's -1, right?
-1.
Yeah, -1.
Oh, Dallin is crushing it.
It's okay, as long as I'm beating Preston, I'm okay.
See, I have performance anxiety. I can't do this.
Yikes.
I'm
I'm
gonna
out
see
of
if I
here.
can get a sponsor for us for
It's ED medicine.
yeah. All right.
Wowie. Okay, number 4.
That took a turn.
Which is the arcane tradition that focuses on modifying matter?
The arcane tradition
Mhm.
focused on modifying matter.
Yes, sir. Okay, multiple choice. Is it A, abjuration, B, evocation, C, enchantment, or D, transmutation?
So I'm keeping my original answer, but I'm writing down the letter just to
Okay.
be clear.
Wielders of this magic may pull a prank by turning a person into a toad. To them, the world is not a fixed thing, but eminently mutable. They delight in being an agent of change. This arcane tradition is none other than transmutation.
Right, 2
I only got
points.
one.
Okay,
Brain fart.
Boosh.
So that's 2 points, so I'm at 1 point.
+1.
5 points.
Preston. Down. All right, next question. Question number 5. When a druid reaches level 20, how many times can they use their wild shape ability per
Got it.
game?
Oh, fudge. It's my,
We only played a druid up to level 10.
it's my least favorite part of druids.
Really?
I'm going to go in a guess here.
Do you want multiple choice, Dallin?
Yes, please.
Okay, is it A, 20 times, B, infinite times, C, 10 times, or D, 12 times?
I'm just going to go out on a limb here.
Okay, but you did not get multiple choice.
Mm-mm.
Neither did I.
All right,
You did.
crap.
Okay. At level 20, you become an archdruid, which allows you to wild shape an
unlimited,
unlimited number of
yeah.
times.
Okay.
So
Two
two
got
Alright,
there because
so
I was like,
everybody got
that
2.
sounds
No, you got
about
1.
right. I got 1.
All right.
Dang it, I'm still 2
That was scary.
Okay, can you find one on there that only I know? So
Let's
that they get it
see
wrong.
about this one.
Nothing about bards.
Okay.
Yes, bards, please.
Okay, question number 6. Which of these books inspired the idea of law versus chaos in the paladin class?
Well,
I'm guessing you need multiple choice.
I'll need multiple choice, yeah.
Unless
I'm,
you know what it is.
I'm gonna
I'm
take
gonna
a
go on a
guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a guess. So just go ahead and give us
Okay,
multiple choice.
Is it A, Lord of the Rings, B, A Wizard of Earthsea, C, 3 Hearts, 3 Lions, or D, Conan the Barbarian?
Well, balls.
I'm changing mine. I have no idea, but I'm gonna wild guess.
A, Lord of the Rings, B, A Wizard of Earthsea, C, 3 Hearts, 3 Lions, or D, Conan the Barbarian?
All right. I don't know. I'm out on a limb here.
This is a tough one.
Ready?
You're probably just gonna have to
I've
take a guess.
I've only read 2 of those.
Yeah, same here, and I can't remember.
Which ones have you
anything.
guys read?
Lord of the Rings and Conan the Barbarian.
Everyone?
I've read Ursula Le Guin's Wizard of Earthsea, but it's been a while.
I haven't read it, so
All right. Son of a...
this is something I have no idea, so I'm gonna just guess.
Okay. We got
All right. Written by Paul Anderson in 1953, 3 Hearts, 3 Lions is often credited with the idea of law versus chaos in D&D.
I was like, I don't remember anything about Wizard of Earthsea
the title-
having law and
It's
chaos.
-1?
The title just
Minus
sounded
1.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
3
I got
hearts.
-1.
Not looking good, guys.
If you get 2 and I get -1, then I will lose. So there's still a chance.
Okay. What was the first language Dungeons and Dragons was translated into from English? Okay, now do we want multiple choice?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Is it A, Spanish, B, Chinese, C, French, or D, Danish?
I'm gonna modify my answer.
Change my answer.
You ready?
If I abstain from answering, do I just get 0?
No.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
trying to work the system.
Another guess.
By 1992, Dungeons and Dragons had been translated into 14 languages and sold over 2 million copies in 44 countries worldwide. The first language the rules had been translated into in 1982 was French. You all got it wrong.
As long as we all got it wrong, I'm okay.
So who's our ultimate
I wrote
loser
German.
here?
Preston.
Pain for you. Pain. Pain.
Pain!
Shame.
Who was
Shame.
You know what,
the
though? You know what? Down was the winner.
Mm.
But this is pain that your wife will appreciate.
That's true.
Pain.
Something I do anyway. So.
Yeah, so the punishment. Oh, the reward is I got you some nerds, the candy, because you're the ultimate nerd.
Nice.
The
Worth
punishment is
Death.
we're going to wax Preston's nose hairs.
it. I will not be watching.
Now, is this something that we want to put on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, proof that happened.
All right. Y'all better like this damn video.
All right. Preston, you probably just want.
We've been recording this whole time. So.
Okay. Okay, Preston, this this is safe.
Are you trying to soothe me? I don't know, dude. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut so I don't say any bad words on camera.
It's gonna be hot though. I don't want to burn you. Like your finger. Does it feel nice?
No vomiting.
I can't watch
Okay.
in the set.
We're gonna just leave that there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
this off-screen retching. That's the subtitle.
I'm crying.
Wow, this is awesome.
Next one.
Dungeon Mistress in her element.
Yeah, baby. You've got to get it all in there. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
How long does it have to sit?
Now we wait.
Okay.
Just like a couple minutes.
We'll be right back.
Right.
Okay, here's my question.
What?
Do you want to rip it out or do you want me to do it?
I think we know who Tori wants to do
Count
it.
to 5 and rip it out.
And I'm warning you, it's going to be gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I have some tissues.
Look away, viewers. If you
It's so hard to talk and breathe at the same time.
I'm gonna have to edit this.
I'm gonna put this
choice,
here,
but
just in
this
case.
is-
All right.
You just, the best is just hard and
Pray for no
fast.
bogeys.
Yep. Let's get it.
Maybe she blow his nose.
1, 2. Ah! Down it goes.
Oh no!
Got him. Check that out. That's awesome.
Bobby is legitimately dry heaving over here.
You're like,
All right. Well, that was the worst. Congratulations,
Thanks for
Preston,
being a good
for
sport.
being the first biggest loser. How's your air passage? Your airways?
it's good.
Can you
You
breathe
know
more
what?
clearly?
It's gonna feel so nice.
It actually didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. So
I'm
that's
proud
good.
of
My
you.
eyes are watering a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we're good.
All right. All right. Well, that was fun. For everyone but Preston, anyway.
Was that your first?
It was.
He was
It
the
was.
nose waxing version.
It was.
Wow.
And it's intense.
All right. Well, with that, thank you, Tori, by the way, for running that game. That was actually a lot of fun.
Good.
Okay, so let's jump into the second topic. But the thing that I wanted to talk about was playing D&D in person with your friends versus playing D&D online. I think it's safe to say that, at least for us, we probably all prefer playing in person when we can. I feel like our chemistry is better, the energy is better, you know what I mean? Play off each other more, it's less distracting, etc. Not everybody may feel that way, but I'd be willing to bet that most of you watching would agree. In fact, if you disagree, I'd love to know in the comments and why.
Your viewers share a disagreement.
Well, there's only two options here, so some of
It's
them.
very unlikely.
Yeah.
You never disagree.
So, okay. Here's my question.
No, they're going to come after me for being such a bitch. Sorry.
They would never come after you, Tori. You're
Yeah.
too sweet
Love
and
you.
pleasant. They've seen Eve in action. They know.
We ignore Dungeon Mistresses in our life.
Yeah. All right. So I guess what I want to know is let's quickly discuss like pros and cons of each. Okay. Playing in person versus online, and then maybe some tips to help those who don't really have a choice and are playing online. How they can improve their experience. Okay. So yeah, who wants to start? Pros and cons. Let's start with pros and cons.
So pros and cons, I guess just fast firing. The pro obviously is that you don't have to deal with Discord or any other medium
Pros of being in person.
of being in person. That you don't have to, because if you're trying to like talk quietly on Discord, or if you're trying to do a fun voice, a lot of times Discord is overzealous and it'll drop it thinking it's background noise or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. So
Yep. Pro for being in person. Con for being in person. Obviously, it's a larger time commitment. It's more to going from place to place. It's being out of your element. I can't wear my fuzzy slippers.
driving. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
those kind of things, I
Bigger time
think.
commitment.
Yeah.
Okay. Pro and con of in person.
In person, pro, snacks.
Yeah.
Con. I mean, I guess there's snacks.
You can
anyway.
have your own
but
snacks, but
shared snacks.
other people's snacks,
Cons.
Kombucha.
Free
which
snacks.
are really the best snacks.
Yeah.
Pro kombucha from
Yes.
Kobe's
Kobe
Cookies.
Scobies. Cons of in person. If you're shy, maybe you don't lean into your character because it's maybe embarrassing.
Sure. Okay.
Pro of in person, just spending time with your friends. I think there is something to be said for being with it, just boost your spirits, I think.
Sure.
Having that physical interaction.
Well, sure. Physical.
You know what I'm
You
saying.
can be physical without
Yeah,
touching.
yeah. That just sounded. I'm
Mental
sorry.
kisses.
Okay. That's going to be the title of this episode now.
Mental kisses.
Mental kisses.
Yes.
Giving them right now. The con of
I think it was a mental middle finger.
the con of an in person. I would be the time commitment. I can't think of a different one that I
Okay.
disagree with. The BO.
Hey, you always sit next to me at the table.
Oh boy.
I was talking about that's a con for you
I don't appreciate that.
because of my BO. My draconic essence.
The dankest swass.
Yeah,
Yes.
All right.
that's the con.
Definitely going to be putting on an extra layer of deodorant before our game tonight.
JK.
We will all be wearing Draconic Essence
Yeah.
Yes.
tonight.
So
By Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Okay, Preston. Pro and con of online.
Pro of online, you can do a lot of really cool things with digital that normally would be difficult to bring to someone's house. So like if you wanted to have a video or if you wanted to have things like that, it's easier to share that kind of thing, and it's more, I guess, intimate in the sense that you would have your headphones on and be able to kind of hear those subtleties. The con is that I feel like I've used a lot of different tabletop systems, Roll20, Beyond 20, or not Beyond 20. It's not coming to me. There was a couple of different ones, like downloaded applications, and the biggest problem or the biggest hurdle I found as a DM was that there was a lot of time investment.
Yeah.
Whereas like on Roll20 and stuff, you can get those kind of pre-built.
Right.
So
yeah, setting it all up, creating your maps, creating your characters, and all that.
So it's a pro in that sense, but in that same vein, the con of it's a double-edged sword where there's so much that you could do or could sometimes that analysis paralysis sets in.
Okay, down.
Okay. Online. You can play in your pajamas in any part of your house that you have internet, really. Like, that's awesome.
Or on business trips.
Or on business trips or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
So-
easier to be absent.
Yes.
From the table.
Con, I would say you don't get to have any kind of like side conversations without everybody hearing it unless you're doing like a chat on the side or something. And then even then, yeah, you're hearing the keyboard. So you can't like, hey, what do you think about if we do this on your next turn? Like, should we, you go here and I go there? Okay, cool. And like, you can't have any of that because everyone will hear it, or it'll be too loud and interrupt. And I think when you're online, it kind of pulls away from letting everyone have their moment
Yeah.
because everybody's kind of going at the same time. So
Right.
it's tough.
Okay.
Pro. Can't think of any.
Okay.
Con. I loathe entirely. Roll 20.
It's the learning curve. There's the time. Like,
Yeah.
just so much.
I will say, for me, maybe the biggest, one of the biggest pros, at least that haven't been mentioned yet, for in-person play is models.
Yeah.
Like the 3D. Like I am a very sort of tactile, physical person, right? And yeah, I love like being able to see and feel and move about on the board instead of in the digital format.
I think
just
that 2D
vastly
tokens,
prefer.
they just look so weird to me. I
Okay.
don't like them.
I thought of a pro.
Okay.
Because that's
Go on.
really Debbie Downer of me. The pro is that you can still play even during a pandemic.
Yes.
True. It's true.
Which we were
We
able
did.
to do.
Yeah.
That was great.
Grateful.
A con of online,
Exactly.
I was gonna say is, and this maybe gets at a little bit what you're saying, Dallin, but like, I feel like it's the attention is not there for everybody.
Yes.
It
right?
is.
Like
Mm.
people are so easily distracted, and you know, like when you're in person, sometimes somebody's looking at your phone, you can be like, dude, stop looking at your phone.
Yeah.
When you're online,
It's
it's
easy
like
to
I can
drift.
just alt tab
Yeah.
to another browser and like
Pause my
mic.
and I'm just not there,
Yeah.
right? And I think that comes through.
Or
a lot
kids
of the
walking
times.
in, or like
Yeah, there's that too.
It's
That's
as a
right.
parent, that's definitely a thing. And,
Yeah.
Or the dog barking in the background. It's
There's-
like, all right, guys, hold on.
There's nothing worse when you're a DM and you're like, okay, and it's your turn, and they're like, all right, I want to do this, and you're like, what? And they're like, oh, sorry, I wasn't looking on the
I
last
was-
person's
yeah,
turn. Oh wait,
exactly.
I want to. Never mind, I want
I
to
was
do
playing
this.
Clash of Clans.
And you're just like,
yeah.
no, I'm not invested in the
I've
game.
had that
I
come
remember
over on
your
the
story.
microphone before it goes dun 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 dun. I was like, all right, who did it? Who did it? Like,
You're dead to me.
Okay, so here's
you
the
can't
question.
hide behind your microphone.
I mean, so obviously it's not so one-sided, right? There are some cons to being in person, and there are some pros to being online. Assuming that most people prefer in person,
Yes.
but maybe don't necessarily have the option currently or in sometime in the future. What are some tips that you guys can give? Give me like one or two tips to make playing online a better experience. Preston, you've probably had the most
I play every
experience
Friday.
doing online because I know that you DM a weekly game and it's all online.
I think for me the big thing is that it becomes even more important to communicate outside because I don't even, the people that I play with. It's my wife, a couple of friends from college, a couple of friends from a Discord server that just friends that we game with and stuff. And the biggest key I think is that having those open lines of communications because all of them are dispersed. Some of them are in Oregon, some of them are in Texas, just all over the place. And so like trying to coordinate schedules and trying to get everybody to sit down. I think that communication is key to kind of having a smooth experience because if there is that instance where when you're at a table, I can tell like based on body language and other stuff when somebody's feeling uncomfortable with the situation.
Okay, so communicate even more than normal, like before and after the game.
Yeah, like and we have a just a general chat in either Discord or in Hangouts, whatever's most convenient for everybody.
Okay, Tori.
I would say make sure that you're playing with like your cameras on.
For sure.
So you can see
You've
each
been
other.
guilty of that.
Ah.
Turning it off. I've been like, where's Tori?
Where's Tori?
I know.
Or,
Sorry,
where's
I didn't
Annie
mean to
the
call you out.
Terrible?
It's true. I have done that. So don't be like me. Be like these guys. And keep your camera on so that you can see each other.
I turn mine off when I wax my nose.
Or if you haven't yet, wax
I mean,
it, because we don't
yeah,
want to
because I would
see.
throw up.
If you're uncomfortable about your appearance on camera, wax your nose.
Yeah, or dress up.
On camera.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There you
Wait,
go.
no.
That's going to be my suggestion. Like, maybe even more important than, because the energy can be a little bit lower, you might have a harder time getting into
Put a
the
cool hat
character.
on.
Like,
Like-
even just a piece, just something, like a scarf, I don't know, something.
Yeah,
right? Like
Corey always had that cane
That
when he
cane.
was
Yeah.
when he was Turtle Man.
help you even more get into the character.
Yuri.
Professor Uguay. What?
Yeah.
What was his
Yuri.
name? Yuri.
Yuri. It was Uguay, but
It was
yeah,
Uguay.
Yuri.
Yeah. Keep your camera on.
Keep your camera on.
Like,
I like that. Dress
It's a good
up.
one.
Communicate.
over communicate?
I would say when you're playing online, have your role play chat on the side, like what we did, because you don't always get
like after the game.
Yeah, the after the game role play chat where you're like, hey, like I'd love to just flesh out that conversation we had like a little bit more, or like, hey, we're gonna hand wave from the end of this to the next session. If you want to role play anything between now and then, like let's do that now in the chat. Because I think you lose like having the spotlight on you sometimes online. But when you put it in chat, people can have that time to do that.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
And something along the lines, I think Tori experienced, is you need to be sensitive as well when somebody's coming into a virtual online experience.
Yeah.
Be sensitive to the fact that there's a lot to keep track of. It's like, you got to figure out how to use the ruler system.
Yes.
How do you
There's
obviously
a bit of a
create an
technology
account.
curve.
There's a bunch of all that other stuff. As well as like I've never had a really good experience yet, and I'm hoping developers out there listening and like fixing this crap, but I've never had an integrated experience where I didn't have to go to Discord or to Zoom or something else for my audio visual needs
Like
because in the actual thing, 9 times out of 10 it disconnects, it's blippy, it's one of those ones where you need to be sensitive to the fact that if they're brand new to D&D in general, that could end up being a big roadblock.
Yeah.
And so just like be sensitive to it and say, hey, like maybe 10 minutes before, let's sit down and I can help you through this or something. That's something that I have experienced in those online games, though, that I have liked is the whispering. Because a lot of times a character's like, hey, I want to do this thing, but since I want to do it stealthy or what have you.
It's a little easier to
being able to type
slip a
it's
note
easier.
to the DM.
Because like when I'm sitting, people have probably seen it when like I'll send messages to Corey sometimes during the Anaria campaign saying, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Is that okay? Like in doing that kind of back and forth conversation during the game can be a little more distracting, at least for us, since we're like on camera. It looks like if I'm over here in the corner, it's harder to type like this, and I feel like it's easier to do it online in case you have a keyboard in front of you.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, all right. I think I've actually I think I've altered my opinion just slightly about the pros and cons of online versus in person. I still vastly prefer
I agree.
playing in person, but it's kind of made me realize what, there are definitely some benefits. To online, and again, you guys some of you at least may prefer online for one of the reasons that we've mentioned or another. So let us know.
Heathen.
Let us know your favorite tabletop, because Beyond 20,
Your VTT.
What's your VTT that you prefer? Like, do you prefer the virtual tabletop in Steam, like the full 3D experience? There's a couple on Kickstarter now that are VR.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a VR one.
All kinds of
That
cool
could be
stuff.
cool. That could be cool.
I'd love to see what everyone else is
Yeah,
using.
give us some recommendations and suggestions if you've found a tool that you really, really like. But why don't we wrap?
Yeah.
I have no idea how long this episode's going to be. But
Who's rapping?
you guys are the worst. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Let us know what you think about the new format. I don't know that we're going to stick with it, particularly depending on who's available and timing and things like that. But we may try to do an in-person episode now and again, depending on the reception. So anyway,
you should read the tweets and emails.
yes, we'll check segment. Please like and subscribe and do all the things. Love you guys, and